it is a broadband observed probe. That's what the BBO means. So
Okay.
Are you videotaping me? Claudia! Okay. All right, so it's a broadband observed probe, which means we can observe other nuclei. Now, the beauty of this probe is that it's actually called a BBF. There's a BBF channel, which means that you can observe other nuclei, like cobalt and phosphorus. But you can also do fluorine. Fluorine is sometimes problematic because it's a high frequency nucleus. I think its resonance frequency is like 470 or something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Megahertz, so it's high frequency.
Yeah.
So we're fortunate in that it can detect on that channel a high frequency nucleus.
Okay.
Okay. So,
That is pretty good.
Yay. So there are two things that we need to do though. Pretty easy.
So on the 300, we just can't do fluorine anymore, or
not through the X channel. So what you would actually have to do is you would have to run. Through the broadband channel on the preamp, but you would have to detect fluorine through the proton channel on the probe.
Oh, wow.
Since the frequencies are
Yeah.
close, proton and F19. So it's almost like you got to think about it as there's a low frequency channel and a high frequency channel on the probe that we have on the 300. So if we wanted to do F19 on the 300, we'd probably have to do it on the other channel.
Yikes. Okay.
I'm gonna put that probe though, so I'm not certain. But this is pretty easy. And that all we have to do is we have to swap out two filters, basically. We have to take a filter off, and then we got to put a filter on. So this filter that I'm taking off right now is attached to the X channel. Okay. This is what is called a low pass filter. And what that means is that if you have a low pass filter on there, it basically means that all the low frequencies are passed.
Okay.
But it attenuates high frequencies, such as fluorine. So if you have this on there, it's going to stop all frequencies that are high frequencies. So you can tell it's a low pass filter because it has the LP on it. LP. And what it does do is it attenuates the stuff that's in the parentheses, the F19.
Okay.
I don't know if that's supposed to be proton. It says 3 proton. Okay, well, whatever. You take it off. You take it off, and then you reconnect the channel, or I should say the RF cable to the preamp. And actually, you know what, Olga? Why don't I let you do this part? So it just slides on, and then you just have to turn clockwise to get it to catch. Yeah, until it's finger tight. That way you get kind of a feel for it. And then, we'll of course set this aside and put it back on when you're done. Okay. The other thing that we have to do is we actually have to put a filter on the proton channel. Now the reason for that is because proton and F19 are very close to one another. So what you want to do when you're doing a decoupling experiment, so you're irradiating the protons, right, to saturate the signal, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the only frequency that you're concerned with is proton. So what this will do is this will attenuate the fluorine signal. Okay, so it's kind of like a band stop, so it'll stop the F19 signal. So we're going to put this on here. This is called a high pass filter. So again, you can think of it as it passes all high frequencies. Proton only. F19 it should stop. Okay, I'm going to let you do this one. So basically, take the low pass filter off, put the high pass filter on. And this, according to James's notes, is how it's done. So if it's not done properly, it's a fault. Sometimes it's a little finicky. Well, you'll get it. Okay, you just kind of got to play with it. That's why it's good for you to do it, so that you can kind of get a feel for it. Okay. Oh, maybe a little little bit more.
A little bit, okay.
That's okay. Yeah, everything's good. All right, easy peasy. Okay. All right, now what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna let you drive, Olga. I'm just gonna kind of give you some guidance. Here, how you want?
Here, yeah, I'll move this chair. No, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a file for F19. So just go ahead and type new or click new, create your data file. Okay. So,
Well, this was just the experiment.
yeah. So how come it's not showing up? It does under my account. Do you only have limited access?
I'm not sure.
Is this Diana's? No, right? This is in Diana's.
I don't
Account.
No, yeah.
Oh.
We're logged in
Okay.
with ours, yeah.
CGL. When I do this, I have a whole list. I wonder if there's. Okay, so first, well, we're gonna have to see if this works because this is what's listed under your user. This is all of the parameter sets.
Right.
So we'll have to see if this is gonna work or not. We might have to log in under that super user account. So this is everything. So what we're gonna do is F19 CPD, which is cross polarization decoupling. If you wanted to not do that, you can click on that one. So we'll just click on it. It might not run though, so yeah, it sees it. We'll just see. Okay, not a big deal. We can just log in into our super user.
Okay. And just hit OK.
Yeah. Okay. What we're gonna do now, Olga, is we're actually gonna type get prosol just to dump in those default F19 parameters. Okay, which should show up in here. Okay. So we're just gonna go down and check on a few things. So there's F19. That's actually the frequency, 470, very close to 500 megahertz. And then we're doing proton decoupling also. So one thing I would like to see just before we move on is how everything's routed, so to speak. So I'll show you in just a second. So if you can type EDASP, we're going to have a look at the routing display in it. Okay, good, it does. Okay, so this shows how everything is working. All right, so we have our F19 nucleus going through the X channel F19. Okay, this looks a little funky to me though. Proton. Huh. Appropriate RF power. Cable wiring. Proton, possible RF. Actually, you guys, I'm not so sure about this one. The reason why it looks odd to me is because why isn't it that it's not going through the proton channel here for the decoupling? I'm not sure why that is. So we're just gonna have to see how this goes.
Okay.
Let's just give it a try. Okay, so we're gonna assume that it's all routed properly. Got the filters changed. What we are gonna do to try is we're gonna try tuning it with the ATMA function. Probably won't work, but that's okay. It'll get us close. So go ahead and type ATMA. gonna tune the probe, tune a Masha probe to F19, or it's gonna try to, at least.